Welcome to my messy garage. Today we are going to go through the deep freezers and sort things through, decide what I'm going to bring in, what I might can, how many freezer meals I need to make. I do this periodically as the need happens. So I am Mama Bear to Many. I am mom to 14 children, and we are going to go through these 3 deep freezers. So I want to get these down so I just have one deep freezer that runs through the summer. But I also want to make sure that I have enough freezer meals to take us through a couple weeks. So let's see what we got here. We're going to start just opening up. So what we do is I'll take some laundry baskets. So I'm going to put a laundry basket, maybe I'll put it up here, let's see. Put the laundry basket here. So I'm going to put freezer meals in here. Yeah, we were gone today and we got 5 eye doctor appointments done, and then a chiropractor appointment, and then a natural medication, I don't know what the heck you'd call it. Appointment done as well, and it is the afternoon, so I am loving this coffee, so I'm not letting go of this quite yet. Okay, so what do we have? We're going to take freezer meals, and we're going to put freezer meals into the large one. What? No, you're wearing a jacket outside. Got my glove. Let's see. Is that all freezer meals all the way down there?
I don't think so.
Okay. So
I'm not the one that put them in, so I don't know.
Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to look over here.
I know these ones are. I put these ones in.
So I had some things gifted to us. This is some shredded potatoes. I think I'm going to bring these in to make a meal out of, or 2. So we'll just see what we make out of that.
No, they're roasted.
I can grab some more of these in. These also gifted to us are frozen mashed potatoes. And I'm going to take some hamburger out as well so I can make a couple of shepherd's pies.
There's beef roast under the freezer meals.
Okay. So over here we just have 2, you can look down here. We just have a few beef roasts in the bottom and then freezer meals on top of it. So we're just going to kind of count what we have here for freezer meals and leave the beef roast down there because I'm not going to be making any meals with the beef roast, or I don't think so anyway. Okay, so she's going to do that there, and I'm going to come back over here. So I have more of these hash brown things. I have 3 of them all together. This basket here I'm going to use for bringing inside so that we can make stuff out of the stuff that I put in there. So I'm throwing all of those hash browns in. I don't know what I'm doing yet with them, but we're going to figure out what we're going to do. Then I'm going to grab, let's see. We'll do 4 pork chops. So what I'm doing here is I'm bringing in meat so that I can have I can use what I have and make that into freezer meals. So I'm bringing in the pork chops. I also think what I'm going to do is bring in all of this bacon that we home canned, which is a lot of bacon, and then I'm going to can up a ton of baked beans. So, how much bring it? Yeah, maybe I think I'll bring 2. I see 3 here, but I think I'm just going to bring 2 in. Then I have another one here of stuff that I'm going to bring in. I am seeing a bunch of large pork in here. I have 1 chicken. I'm going to bring that in. 1 rabbit. I think I'll bring that in. I think I'll make some broth out of those 2. Now I'm going to bring some pork to go with those mashed potatoes. So I'll grab 3 3 pork, and then can you grab 3 hamburger out of here? So in the other freezer, I have hamburger. We're gonna have 3 hamburger to go with those.
3, you said?
Yeah.
With the pork or the sausage or whatever.
Yeah, with the mashed potatoes. Going to do is grab one of these and take this and cook it down to make some pulled pork. Just put that in there. So now, how much more hamburger do we have in there?
The roast on the bottom of frozen salad.
Yep. Okay, so she's gonna grab the rest of the these ones that we bought at the store-bought hamburger, and I'm gonna grab some more pork, and I think that we'll also make some meatballs because I don't need any prepackaged meatballs. I like to try to do 50-50. If I have it, do 50-50 with the hamburger. So maybe 2 more of these. There we go. So there's only 1 more pork chop, so I'm gonna grab this last pork chop as well, so that I don't just have one little straggler. Which leaves in the bottom of here, if you want to come look, there is 1 bacon. There's ground pork all underneath there, and then most of it is just roast. This is a bacon. There's a couple loose sausages over there, and then some pork here. So I think that's it for now there.
Do you want this brought in as well for the pork?
So I'm gonna bring these in, but I won't use all of them. I'll just plop a couple livers in with the meatballs, just for nutrition. I found another chicken here that I'll boil down with the other ones here. Let's see. That's another chicken.
I think those are the risotto. Or is it?
You know what? I'm not going to do these ones because these are actually rotisserie chickens.
Oh yeah, like this one.
Yeah. So I'm not going to do those because I don't want to get broth off of. I don't like to get broth off of store-bought meat. So I have a bunch of these, which I'm going to bring for Easter. Let's see. So these can go in the other freezer. No. I'm just going to take this out for a minute and put it down so I can see. So then what I'm doing is I'm just taking a bunch of meat that I'm going to make into meals. So all these store-bought chickens are all going to out with me. So what I will do is I will defrost this today, and then probably tomorrow I'll work on some tomorrow afternoon, and then maybe Friday morning I'll work on some as well. So what we have left in here is a bunch of veggies in the bottom. Now let's look over here what we have. So this is our last big deep freezer. Do you want to take those veggies out? And we'll put the veggies Let's just put them off to the side
I'm
for a
gonna
minute.
throw them in that one.
Yeah, they can go there for now. I just have, I guess my goal is for this is to take, I have some more freezer meals here. So I want to try to take the freezer meals that are in this big freezer and put them over in this freezer behind me. So we're taking the vegetables out of that freezer, throwing them in a basket for now so we can move that over there. So I'll bring these in the house. These are just how our eggs turn out, our egg cups. So it's just an egg cracked into a silicone muffin tin. We'll pop these out and put them into bags, and we can use those for anything. So I'm just going to put these off to the side so the kids can do that. Okay, so now I'm getting all this chicken out of here as well. So I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to start passing some of the stuff over to her. So we have minestrone and taco soup, our beef roast, veal, taco mix, excuse me, lamb curry, another lamb curry, rabbit stew, sesame chicken, another minestrone, honey sesame chicken, pork roast, beef roast, beef roast, mystery bag. Anyone know what this is? Chili, maybe? Looks like chili, or maybe it has something in it. Oh, maybe those are white beans. I think that's chili. Another chili. Taco mix. Honey sesame chicken. Alright, now I need to move things around a little. These are blueberries, which look like they need to go in a bag. Okay, so other things that I'd like to use up, we have banana muffins and another banana muffin, so I'll put those down for a minute. What do we have there? Okay, you still have space. Heart. Wings. I actually might bring one of these in. My husband loves buffalo wings, and he's really the one who eats them most of the time. So I think what I'll do is I'll defrost this, and then I'll cook these up so that I can put these in his lunch for the week. And then we have 2 bags of these sweet potatoes. Sweet potato burger.
Is that it?
Okay. So now if you want to come look in the freezer, I'm going to take these out. So we have a bunch of various vegetables down there. I'm going to take these chickens out. I might bring a butter in. Let's see. I'll have to look in the freezer. See, there's bananas and blueberries. I'm thinking maybe I want to bring these blueberries in and a bag of bananas and some kale so I can make some more smoothie bags. So then I'll just take here for the kale. I can even, I got a couple kales, but I think I'm going to bring one of these pumpkin bags in, because I could put one of those cubes in for smoothies as well. That would be really good. Okay. So now to load things back up. So come over here and look at this freezer. So this freezer has all freezer meals here. She said that there was 42 freezer meals. So I'm just gonna try to fill this area right here, maybe with some more freezer meals, and then this freezer will be full of freezer meals. Super exciting. I really like freezer meals because it's a great way to give like a really nutritious meal, and you can just throw it in the Instapot, or your kids can learn how to just throw it in the Instapot, and you don't have to, you can show them at the time that you're making the meal in order to put it in the freezer. You can take the time to show people individually how to do things. But you don't have to take that time maybe right before supper when everyone's whining and grumpy and that type of stuff. You just have that time ahead of time set out, carved out for them. And so when it's busy outside, or we're gardening, or we're cleaning the yard or anything like that, we can just throw things in the Instapot and don't really have to worry about our meals. So that is there. Now we have, throw these over there too. I have this basket, these right here are to make smoothie mixes, and then that over there, all that's coming inside to make meals out of. And then I'm going to take the cauliflower stuff that's in here, and I'm going to throw it into the freezer behind her, and then that will be it. So we are going to make freezer meals, so I'm going to stop you guys here, and once this is defrosted, we'll be back. Okay, so now we're going to make, remember those mashed potatoes that we had from the freezer? So I pulled all those mashed potatoes out. So we warmed those up in here just to thicken them up a little bit. And now I'm going to make 2 shepherd's pies here. I'm just going to show you one. She's draining the corn for the second one. And I'm just going to, they call them shepherd's pies, but really shepherd's pies would have ground lamb in it. So it's kind of like a cottage pie. So just gonna grab 2, 3. Now this is a steamer pan, so I think they're about 15 by 20 or 22, something like that. This would do our family for a meal. And then I'm gonna take half of the hamburger that I have, which is about 6 pounds. Do I have you cook up? Yeah. So it's about 3 pounds in here, give or take a little bit.
It's burger and pork mix.
And this is 50%, it's a 1-to-1 ratio of hamburger and pork. A lot of times, I don't know as far as currently because we're growing most of our own, but usually pork is cheaper than hamburger. So you might be able to save yourself a little bit of money by doing the same like I'm doing here. For us, it's cheaper for us to grow. So I like to use pork because it's cheaper for us to grow. But I do believe that cost-wise that it's also cheaper to buy. So there we go. And then I'm going to do about half of these mashed potatoes. You know, using a flat spoon is always what I wanted to do. The things that you do, it's just like, you know, you don't feel like, you don't think about things that you do until you realize that you're videoing yourself, and then you realize, well, it probably looks really stupid that I'm using a flat spoon, but I mean, it's food, right? Does it really matter? It's gonna get out there. We'll make it happen. So I think this was this 4 bags of those mashed potatoes?
Yeah.
Yep, so we have 4 bags of the mashed potatoes here. These were gifted to us. It's just like pre-made potatoes in a bag. I don't know, I had never seen it before. You can do that yourself though. If you have leftover mashed potatoes, you can put those in a pot, in a bag after you're done, and use those for shepherd's pie or whatever at a later date. So here we go, one for the freezer, and then we'll work on making the second one for the freezer, and then just wrap those up. Right here I have about 4 chicken breasts already cooked. I'll show you guys that. And then that 2 pounds of broccoli. And so this time I'm going to make it in a bigger dish, so you could actually make 2 9x13s. I'm going to add about a cup of cornstarch. A couple sprinkles of abdoa. You could use any seasoning that you choose. And stir that all in. Can I have one of those milks? Yeah. My daughter can read my mind. She heard me say milk, blah, 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 that one. So I'm using probably, let's see. I wanted to like cover them, so stir this in and see how much I need. Still. You get a new dress? What do you mean? Okay, open that.
Somewhere where I can't find it.
Yeah, you can tomorrow.
Opening this, I just want to
Okay, so you're going to use about half a gallon of milk. And we're going to let that thicken up. So it shouldn't take too long to thicken up. What I'm going to do while I'm waiting for that to thicken up is I'm going to open the rice. I've letting the pressure off. I'm going to open up the rice. Steamy, steamy. And take this out. Oops. Cooking nothing over there. So, I'm going to just fluff this up a little bit. And then I'm going to be putting this in with that to make a huge casserole. So the only things that are in here are the oil, the chicken, the 4 breast already cooked chicken, 2 pounds of broccoli, half a gallon of milk, and a cup of either arrowroot, any thickener, flour, corn starch. I used corn starch. And then I have the 5 cups of rice already here. So what I'm going to do is dump this rice in. What I'm going to do is grab an actual pot holder. Actually, maybe I can do this.
I'm gonna scoop behind you.
There we go. Alright. Now it just started to burn my thumb. Thank you. Steam was like coming up through and burning my thumb. Okay, so I'm going to mix this all in together. And I want this to thicken just a bit, but not too much, because it's going to be cooking in the oven. And we won't have any issues with it thickening up once it's in the oven. Just want to stir it in real good. You could definitely add different vegetables. You could add a mixed bag. You could add more broccoli. You could add whatever kind of vegetables that you wanted to add in here. So I am going to now take this and pour it into this pot, and then I'm gonna top part of it. I can start to feel it thicken right here. Actually, maybe I do want the pot holders. Thank you.
These ones are square.
Those are good, yeah.
The jean side is the side with the protector on it.
Alrighty. My daughter just said the jean side is the one with the protector on it, and I put the pot holders on backwards. So, I'm gonna pour all of that right in there. So our friends actually are Rekindled Roots on YouTube, and they sent these pot holders. My daughter and her daughter are friends, and she sent her a nice birthday present, so she's allowing me to use her well-loved pot holders. Okay, so we have that, and now we're going to add some cheese on top. You do not have to add cheese. This would be fine without cheese. Our family is usually dairy-free, so these meals that I am making for this kind of like show you what to do wick thing are meals that I used to make. I don't make them so much anymore, but what I'll be doing is the people who can have the dairy products will have this, and then we'll have an alternative to go with it. So like we might have this big casserole here. Some people would eat that, and then some people might have just a different freezer meal that I prepare for that evening. So this is the meal. It's looking yummy. Can you see it?
Yep.
Okay. Looking good. This would just go in the oven for about half an hour, and it would just get bubbly and cheesy and yummy, and that would be great. Another alternative, if you wanted to, would be to take this here, cook it like this, and then you could even serve this in tortillas if you wanted to. Okay, so this is the broccoli, rice, and cheese casserole. Can you go grab the pork? Martha? Give me one second. Let me down. Love you.
That I'm not trying to get six upstairs.
Love you.
No.
Love you.